Okay? If you wager your life against God and you win nothing. You still cease to exist. You can't even turn. If you're an atheist and you and your Christian friend are walking down the block and you both get struck by lightning and die, if atheism is true, you can't even turn to your friend and tell him, I told you I was right. There's nothing, no bragging rights, no nothing. There's nothing to gain from it. Okay? Yet, if you wager against God and you lose everything. Okay? An illustration I use to explain to my students about Pascal's wager, it would be like, Pascal's wager works. Peter Geach, a Roman Catholic philosopher, explains that Pascal's wager works even if there's only a tiny possibility that God exists. It'd be like somebody telling you, your little baby boy is lost in the woods. We've been searching for 2 days. We can't find him. There's only a 1% possibility that he's still alive. I'm the sheriff. Do you want me to call off the search? No. No. If there's any possibility, there is so much to gain and nothing to lose that even the tiniest possibility that your little baby boy is still alive, you keep on searching, sheriff. Okay? If there's just a possibility, and so Pascal, it's not really an argument for God's existence, it's an argument that all people ought to search for God since it's possible that he does exist. You see, Pascal said to Descartes, look, if we can find all truth through unaided human reason alone, then there's no need for revelation from God. You think you're arguing for God, your argument is going to implode into the fiercest argument against God known in the history of mankind. And that's what modernism was, probably until postmodernism reared its ugly head. So Descartes said, man, this is not the route we want to take. But Pascal saw, see, Pascal agreed with Descartes that man is a rational being. Where Pascal disagreed with, because he was also a mathematician, where Pascal disagreed with Descartes, Pascal did not believe that man is a rational being, period. Okay? Pascal, contrary to popular belief, Pascal had a very high view of human reason. He did not have a problem with human reason, though he understood that it was limited. He had a low view of man. Because man is fallen, he didn't believe that we would use our reason in an honest manner. So Pascal argued, we arrive at our decisions through many other ways. Sometimes it's through intuition, self-evident truths, experience, an act of the will. Sometimes we just believe what we want to believe. We arrive at our conclusions first, and then we bring reason in to try to argue for what we already believe. That's the normal way we human beings use our reason. It's a backdoor approach. We say, I'm here because I want to be here. Now let reason in the back door and see if I can make a case for being here. Okay? And so Pascal says, look, you're going to use your... Descartes got too high of a view of man. We're not that honest. Okay? We're going to be biased when we use our reason. So before we start our investigation whether God exists or not, we're either going to be biased against God or biased for God. His wager argument is an argument that we ought to be biased for God. Because there's everything to gain and nothing to lose by being biased for God. There's nothing to gain and everything to lose by being biased against God. Therefore, the wise man, when he begins to look at the evidence, will be hoping and praying that God exists. Okay? And again, Pascal believed that those who seek God with all their hearts would find Him. So Pascal, in his Pensées, he responded to Descartes. His work is called Pensées. You can go to a Christian bookstore and get it. He died before he put it together, so it's a bunch of his notes just jumbled together. But a tremendous response. Pascal saw that this ugly thing called modernism was going to come into existence because of Descartes' thought. So now postmodernism is a reaction against modernism. Some would even see it as the final stage, just the next stage in modernism. But whatever the case, it's a reaction to modernism. You see, modernism failed to find absolute truth and solve man's problem. I mean, we thought through human reason we could evolve past wars, solve all our problems. Look, we found a cure for a disease. Oh yeah, and we found out how to blow the planet up too. Okay? It was a two-edged sword. And so human reason wasn't going to save us. The French Revolution, the bloodiest revolution, one of the bloodiest revolutions in the history of mankind, and they worshiped the statue of Sophia, the Greek goddess of wisdom. Okay? You worship human reason, and it leads to bloodshed. It doesn't lead to freedom. Our founding fathers, on the other hand, a revolution that produced freedom. It's America, the founding fathers produced freedom. I keep forgetting I'm talking in Canada. It was based upon the belief that all men are created equal, not the power of unaided human reason. So the postmodernists, then instead of saying, well, we need to go back to pre-modernism and start using our reason with more humility and start acknowledging our need for God, the postmodernist says, well, we don't want to go back to Christianity, so therefore there is no absolute truth. Okay? That's scary. There is no... So they reject absolute truth, and they reject human reason's ability to find truth. Let me just say right at the start... Elmer's shaking right now. What time am I going to anyway?
Let me see, probably another 20 minutes.
Good. 20 is better than 6. I thought you were going to... I thought that might have just been the standard, just say 5, and then when the guy goes like that, you say, okay, 6. Now what point was I making before you interrupted me? What? I don't even know what I was talking about. Where am I? Aristotle? No, that goes way back. You're on page 2. Where is something I could throw at him?
19 minutes.
I'm feeling the pressure. I respond well to pressure. I usually faint. Okay, I remember now. Okay, I'm going to give you the real quick. Refutation of that aspect of postmodernism, which rejects absolute truth and man's ability to know truth. I'll give you the quick refutation of it, which, by the way, postmodernists usually aren't even fazed by it. And then I'll talk more about, I'll ramble on about postmodernism after that. And but whatever the case, the rejects. What's wrong with the statement? There is no absolute truth. Yeah, the only way for that statement to be true is if it's an absolute truth. It's self-refuting. It has to be false. Okay? What's wrong with the statement, man cannot know truth? How do you know that truth? Okay? So, I mean, so right at the core, okay, this is what 2 Timothy, with Paul, before he died, told Timothy. Preach the word, man. You know, it's like, this is what's so good. I mean, you know, Gus is up here talking about Jesus is God. And I'm sitting down thinking about what I got to talk about after he's done. And it's like, man, he just got to share the beautiful truth that Jesus is God. And then I got to talk about how messed up the world is with postmodernism and all. But you know, but the solution is just, you know, the answer, the solution. Oh, we got to find an answer. We got to find a solution. His name is Jesus.